Thank you for joining us for another part of our Bible study for Sunday, April 26th, Good Shepherd Sunday, the fourth Sunday of Easter, on John chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. Here, those listening to Jesus do not understand his words and the metaphor. The audience might be the disciples of Jesus described in the previous section of John chapter 9, when Jesus encounters the blind man whom he heals. Yet John 9 is primarily about the Pharisees who try to grasp the healing of the blind man by Jesus. By the end of that chapter, it is the Pharisees who ask themselves if they are spiritually blind. In many ways, the Pharisees have opportunities to shepherd God's people of faith. But do they? So the two questions we have is, do you think Jesus was speaking directly to the Pharisees? How so? And how might Jesus have been addressing the disciples? I think part of it was addressing the Pharisees. I mean, this is one of the hard parts, I think, about being a religious leader is making sure that you're following in the way of the shepherd and not coming about your own way, sneaking in through the back gate with your own message. You know, I struggle with this every week is, am I preaching what I want to preach or what the scripture is talking about? It's always a struggle, trying to figure out what words need to come. And the same with the Pharisees, is they're trying to figure out, am I speaking God's word or am I seeking power? It's a struggle many of us have when we have options for power or for love. Then how might Jesus have been addressing his disciples? I mean, it is a warning to watch who you're listening to. He says elsewhere, there are many that will come in my name and say that am I he. Do not follow them. There are many voices calling for our attention in this world. Not just religious leaders, but we have other voices calling for us to follow them. And how do we focus on Christ and his calling so that we know which way to go? Who is the safe shepherd to follow? Or who is the one who has come to destroy and bring death? And so it's speaking, I think, to both the Pharisees and to us as disciples. He's calling for us to remember, who is it that we follow? There's a reason why we follow the Good Shepherd. Again, thank you for joining us. And again, post a comment if you have any thoughts, and enjoy this week.